We're back. Instigating.
We are.
Lot to touch on, man.
I keep refreshing. I hear the Tucker news is coming any minute.
Yeah, we're tracking flights again.
We're tracking flights.
And we'll dig into that. I don't know if we should be. Treated us so well last time up here.
His best friend has reservations at a sushi restaurant downtown Toronto.
Don't say that.
No,
don't say
it's
that,
not true.
Right?
It's not true.
Yeah, of course it's not true. We will dig into that as it's January. We're still waiting for Kyle Tucker. We're waiting for Bo. We'll get into all that stuff.
I want to just say before we bring in our guest,
yes,
for the second week in a row, our guests are now contacting us and saying, "Hey, when are you recording this week? Can I hop on?"
I love that.
Unbelievable stuff.
And there he is. He needed to be on the show. There he is from madsports.com. Bronx is burning, former fan man, right? Our buddy Mike Damergis.
Proudly a former fan man.
And this is the second week in a row. Last week we had Gentili and Stellick on. We should have had Damergis last week.
I mean, come on. Do you remember the time we had the Tim Hortons race? We had the garbage cans, and I forgot. I think I had Ian in the garbage can, and we did like a garbage can race to Tim Hortons and back. I lost. We lost. We spilled out and going into the control room.
I must have been away that day.
Millman knew nothing about it. Nothing about it.
You instigated it, I feel. That's the show. That's
I don't
instigating.
remember that at all.
Classic Clarkey. He instigated it.
No.
Well, Damergis, it's great that we've got you on because I'll tell you what, talk about instigating. That New York market and the ownership of the Giants instigating a pretty major shift in tone, in culture, and in direction this week with the signing of John Harbaugh, who was out of a job all of 3.5 days. Do you think that this is the type of move that can do for the Giants what he initially did in Baltimore and maybe bring them a long-awaited championship again?
Everybody's been crying for this move, bring an experienced guy in, someone that's going to stabilize everything. Look, for 35 years, the Giants had Bill Parcells as coach, Ray Handley, Dan Reeves, Jim Fassel, and then Tom Coughlin. Since then, Ben McAdoo, I called him Bob McAdoo initially, former Knicks player, Pat Shermer, Joe Judge, and Brian Dable in that period. And it's been a disaster. The idea of bringing a offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, someone young, was just not going to do this time. You needed to stabilize the market. The Giants are a very proud organization, much like the Leafs in Toronto. They're respected around the league, but they've become a joke lately. I mean, when you're being mocked like the Jets, and I'm a Jet fan, and the Jets are as bad as you can get, the bottom of the barrel of pro sports, they should be de-elevated to the UFL, just like they do in soccer. But the Giants, I work for their organization. The Mara family's dynamite, very respectful, one of the original teams. And they needed to make a move like this to stabilize it, and they need to, do something with this kid. They have a running back, they got a wide receiver, Malik Neighbors. The offensive line is turned around, and Jackson Dart looks sensational when he was healthy. I haven't seen anything like him in a long time as a New York quarterback.
Is it getting out of control? Though $100 million for a coach. This is craziness.
Yeah, I mean, whoever thought we'd see anything like that? I mean, come on, that's just incredible. But it's the NFL. I mean, the streaming that goes on, the money that goes on. I mean, the Bears playoff game,
no doubt,
was on Prime. People, had to rush and figure out that. I was actually staying in a hotel down in Florida, and they were not carrying the game. And I said to them, "How come you're not carrying the game in the hotel?" And they said to me, "It cost them $25,000 that Prime would charge up because they have to." They have to give a Prime access to every hotel room. I said, I just want to watch the game. So I wound up watching the game on my computer. So that was it. The money is coming in from every orifice of Roger Goodell. It's all coming in. He's just making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
He certainly is, and so is John Harbaugh. And I mean, you're right, Clarkey. It's insane numbers, but honestly, like given the market and given the stature that he has established, Super Bowl championship back with those 2012 Ravens, I do think that he's walking into a situation that a guy like him, Mike, can easily get a grip of and really turn around. You already mentioned the offensive talent. Cam Scatterbo, before he got hurt, was really lighting it up on the ground. He's a Wolverine out there. Jackson Dart is as mobile and dangerous a quarterback as you're going to see in terms of his ability to escape the pocket. And Malik Neighbors, I mean, let's give them their credit. They ran into some serious injury trouble throughout the year, with Neighbors going down early in the season too. What a talent he is. I wonder on the other side of things, because that's obviously a giant, culture shifting move, like I said, for the Giants. I don't want to do this to you too early, but let's talk about your Jets. Like, on the other side of the paradigm here, like,
you have a paper bag over my head.
A lot of green behind you, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, I got to tell you, have they ever turned into an absolute bath mat? It's incredible what's happened to this team. What do they need to do to fix this?
I don't know anymore. I don't know how you bring a guy like Aaron Glenn is. I mean, the Bears get Ben Johnson, and he looks like the mad scientist genius. And the Jets are left with Red Fox, as far as I'm concerned. The guy can't hold a press conference, doesn't announce who the starting quarterback is, spars with the media, and you're 3-14, and you're mocking the media. I don't know how this guy wasn't fired. I just think they didn't know who else to get another hack in here. I guess that's it. You're going to look at me. You're telling me you think Justin Fields could be your quarterback? I mean, the owner finally came out and said, "Can we get a guy that can complete a pass? Are you kidding me?" I mean, the decision they made to make a move to move on from Sam Darnold, so 8 years ago, was the biggest mistake they made, because that led to the drafting of Zach Wilson, that led to the bringing of Aaron Rodgers, and that led to Justin Fields. They should have stuck with Sam Darnold. Robert Saleh wanted to. Joe McDonald did not, the GM of the time. And Saleh looked like he was right, and he was rushed out of town mid-season last year.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. And I mean, hindsight's 2020. Sam Darnold is a glowing example of that right now. And we'll talk about him and his team in a second here. But you're right. It's a laundry list for the Jets. And I don't know, maybe the owner can ask his sons what they've been up to on Madden lately, and they can give him some direction on what to do.
I don't know. Where are all the former Jet coaches? Where's Richie Kotite? Where's Adam Gase? Where's Joe Douglas? Where's what's his, Mike McCagnon, the other former GM? They all go on to nowhere. They fall into this abyss. It's like kind of like the Yankee players that they thought were going to be superstars. Miguel Andujar was going to be a superstar. Gary Sanchez was going to be a superstar. Greg Bird was going to be a superstar. Clint Frazier going to be a superstar. They fall off to this abyss into nowhere. I mean, I just don't know. And I don't know what Douglas was thinking, as far as thinking that Zach Wilson, he said Zach Wilson had the best combine he's ever seen. So you kick Sam Darnold out, you bring in Zach Wilson, and meanwhile you could have had other draft picks in the place and stuck your way with Darnold. I don't think Darnold is a be-all to end-all. I think he's good enough to get a team to the playoffs, but I don't know about going to Super Bowl. And now he's hurt too for Seattle. It's oblique.
It must be tough. Just to change topics a little, we'll get back to this, but it must be tough to be a New York sports fan.
It sucks.
You got you got the Giants and Jets gone. You got the Rangers, who are just on fire. You got the Devils, who aren't great. You got the Islanders, I guess. They're in the playoff spot, I think.
They're overachieving.
Yep. You got the Knicks, I guess, playing okay. You got the Nets sucking. Like, it can't be fun there, man. Come up to the Great White North. The Leafs are on a roll.
Well, I remember the days when the Raptors were on fire back in the late 90s. That was exciting.
Hey, they won a championship not long ago.
Yeah,
they did that. Eric
Smith was a play-by-play. I remember him as
still is, buddy.
Producer.
Absolutely.
You still is.
And we talk, and you listen to sports radio in New York, and a lot of changes have happened in sports radio in New York. I don't know how it's been going on up there. But you have to admit, when a team is playing well, it's so much easier to come to work. And I think as a fan, when you keep getting beat up, I don't want to hear about the Jets anymore. I don't want to read about the Jets. People ask me to do podcasts about the Jets. I don't want to talk about the Jets. I want to pretend they don't exist. When a team's good, it's the excitement. I mean, the excitement that Jackson Dart and Scatterboo brought in last year was I've never seen anything like it. All my time watching professional New York football, I nothing. I mean, the sack exchange was great with the Jets in the 80s, but the Giants were always boring on offense. I mean, Phil Simms was good. He was solid. but and then Eli Manning, had his moments. I mean, he did have 2 Super Bowls, but Eli was kind of like could be good Eli and bad Eli at times. He didn't have that excitement that Jackson Dart brought to the table this past year. It was exciting with him and Scatterbo.
Yeah, 100%. Eli could never be, accused of being an explosive player in the way that Dart certainly looks like he can be for a long time, health given, which hopefully is the case. I want to stick in New York State for just a second because it's not all doom and gloom in the great state of New York. It is in the city limits, but not the state. And that's because of the Buffalo Bills. And
the Bills, the Canadian team.
The Canadian team. Let's set aside what the Sabres have been up to lately. That's a whole other wagon over there. There's a team that's actually on a roll, Clarkey. But we're talking about the Bills here. Josh Allen, if he doesn't bring the Bills a Super Bowl this year, no Mahomes in front of him, no Lamar. That's Clarkey's alleged team. Allegedly, he's a Ravens fan. We'll see if that lasts any longer. No Lamar Jackson. If Josh Allen can't do it this year, Damerge, would you consider that a massive failure? I think I might.
Absolute failure. Absolute. Mahomes not in the playoffs. Lamar not in the playoffs. Injured this year. The path is there. Unfortunately, I mean, look who you're going against in the first round. You're going against a Sean Payton team that somehow this team sucked a couple of years ago, but you bring in a good coach who knows what he's doing, and they are 14-3. The Denver Broncos are 14-3 with Bo Nix. I'm not talking Bo Derek. I'm talking Bo Nix. The Buffalo Bills have to get this done. They were lucky that they got it at Jacksonville with the wood. It's there for the taking to get this done. And you never know. I mean, if Houston's I wouldn't want to play Houston. I'd rather play New England, to be honest with you. I mean, the Texans looked really, really good. But, yeah, Josh Allen has to get to the Super Bowl this year. Has to. And whether they can win it or not, that remains to be seen.
Well, I think that he might end up having to go through Foxborough to get there because I think the Patriots are going to beat the Texans. I mean, as good as that defense is, New England's is really good, and their offense is insanely superior to Houston's, who made a very ancient-looking Aaron Rodgers look like he's ancient. Ooh. And held that run game in check too. But, hey, you got to beat who's in front of you, and much the same on the Bills side. I mean, this Denver team, they're going up against a monster in Josh Allen. We're going to see what they're really made of here. They beat some good teams this year. That defense is scary. We're going to see what they're really made of if they're ready for the smoke of the playoffs now, because this is a big, big test for them. I have one more thing I want to ask you football-wise, and it's to do with my guy Drake May in New England and Matt Stafford. It was an argument point right through the final few weeks of the season. Who's the MVP in your mind, Damerge? Is it my guy, Drake May, or is it the wily veteran, Matt Stafford?
If there's a minute left in the game and you're at the 15-yard line, who do you want having the ball?
I think I want Drake May. May.
I disagree with you on that. I'm going to go.
He doesn't have the longevity. He doesn't have the longevity and the provenness in the playoffs, certainly, that Stafford has. Everybody would take Stafford. I'm biased. I'm a New England fan. I think Drake May's the real deal, and he's going to shock some people. But I understand your point.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a real deal. I mean, he might get MVP. I mean, Vrabel might get Coach of the Year. I mean, there is that possibility. Vrabel's been outstanding. I mean, come on now. I mean, the Jets had him in the building, and they wound up with Aaron Glenn, but they were never going to sign him. He was never going to be a Jet. With all the experience that Stafford has, I'm going to go with him. I think he's the MVP. I mean, Drake May's done a lot, but I think he's more a result of Vrabel, and I think Stafford's just the maestro at this point, the old professor who's just getting it done. I know he jammed his hand last week throwing a pass and everything like that, but I'm going to go with the maestro. I mean, I'm going to go with the old professor here.
I understand that, and Matt Stafford's a great player. He's walking into the Hall of Fame someday, already a Super Bowl champ. I do think that Drake May did more with less. I don't think he did more with less. I know he did more with less. He does not have Devontae Adams. He doesn't have Puka Nacua. He doesn't have, you could argue the tight ends are a wash. Hunter Henry's revived his career. He doesn't have that big number one target, let alone 2 number one targets that Matt Stafford does. And he made a lot of magic happen. Yes, a light schedule. But it'll be an interesting debate for sure. But I won't be upset. You brought up a good point, Damerge. I won't be that upset if Drake May loses the MVP this year to Matt Stafford, because I think Drake May's got 3 or 4 in him in his future, the way he plays and manages games. I'll be very upset if Mike Vrabel's not coach of the year. I'll be personally offended if Mike Vrabel's not coach of the year. Take a team that won 4 games last year and do this.
Yeah, you know what I'm excited about? All the young players in the game right now, and especially in Chicago. Caleb,
man,
what he's done sensational with the mad scientist Ben Johnson's done for turning that franchise around. I mean, you talk about losing and a team that can't win and hasn't won a Super Bowl in 40 years. The '85 Bears, one of the great defenses of all time.
Yes,
crushed the Patriots to the Super Bowl 46-10. Shut out the Giants 21-0 in the divisional game. Blank the Rams 24-0 in the NFC Championship. Shut down Eric Dickerson, despite Dickerson wearing like an aqua or scuba suit because it was so cold in Chicago. They are star for a championship, much the way the Leafs are star for a championship in Toronto. The same way, the city of Chicago deserves it. They deserve a championship more than anything else.
Go Bears!
Go Bears!
Great fans.
Go Bears! Fans. My new team.
Let's go right now.
No, Clarkey, you're not doing that.
They are my new team. No,
I don't accept
my new team.
that.
Go Bears!
I don't accept that. That's gutless.
They're sure
stuff,
to lose,
dude.
now.
Yeah,
my other 2 didn't even make the
You're
playoffs.
A cooler.
I picked the Ravens and the Lions this year.
Yeah, it didn't go
good.
well for you, my son.
Not good.
That's a tough one for you. Listen, Damerge, we got to talk about what's been going on in the baseball world. Obviously, I know that's your number one passion. You're a diehard Yankees guy.
Do we have an update, Dre? Do we have an update? No.
I don't have an update on Kyle Tucker. I don't have an update on Bo Bichette. The latest I heard was that any old time now he's going to sign with the Phillies on a 3-year, $75 million deal.
Because he had a Zoom meeting with them. He must be. He had a Zoom meeting. Him and Donnie Mattingly, Damergis' old buddy.
Zooming around, dude.
Yeah, what happened to Donnie? He left.
I don't know. I don't know.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
I don't know what that was, but I got to ask you, we'll start with your Yankees. Like, what do you think of their offseason so far? And
have they done anything?
Nothing. They almost got Edward Cabrera. I mean, they almost got
Does almost count?
And
no. The Jays almost got Ohtani.
They did almost get, how are you feeling sitting here today, Mike? It's January 15th.
I'm excited about the Giants. I'm excited about the Giants.
You're excited. That's how Mike feels about the Yankees. He's excited about the G-men.
This is my answer about watching the Yankees. I watch when Aaron Judge comes up, and then I change the channel after
What's going on? Why has it changed? There's a shift here. The Mets seem to be in the middle of everything, and the Yankees aren't. That never used to be the case.
No, well, you have Hal Steinbrenner, who's has to, as he says, he has a board to answer to. Which could you imagine George saying that? Clarkey, you had Steinbrenner on. I mean,
I did. He was my best moment ever.
It really was, and I remember listening to those shows driving before I was working. And I go, they got George Steinbrenner on. This is so cool. He would spend the money. I mean, he gave Hideki Arabu. Remember that Seinfeld? He gave Hideki Arabu all that money. He would spend money left and right, and it's just like. The Yankees, you could get enough players. The Yankees have enough money to get enough players to win their 90 games, get in the playoffs. But look what the Yankees missed last year. They missed Soto, not during the season. They missed him in the postseason. Mm-hmm. And by not getting impact players, they are not going to make a World Series. Sure, the pitching is going to be strong this year with what they have as long as everybody comes back healthy. But the offense is just blah. Blah. Mm-hmm. It's nothing. It's dry toast.
What do they need to do to change that? Like, who should they go after? Because, everybody's waiting to see what pops in Arizona after they made a very strange move in bringing in Nolan Arenado. And now everybody's just waiting for the pink slip for Marte, who is, I think, one of the best infielders in baseball. And of course, he plays a similar position to Jazz, but you move Jazz somewhere else. Would you want the Yankees to maybe go get him? The rumor's always been that Boston is hot to trot to get Marte. Would you want the Yankees to go get him, or who are you looking at that you're like, I'd love for them to get that guy?
I mean, I kind of wanted them to get. They needed a third baseman. They haven't had a third baseman in years. They haven't had a steady first baseman in years. And
You don't like McMahon?
he hits. Can we put somebody in the lineup that doesn't hit below 250? Why did it become socially acceptable to hit 250 and be a professional major league hitter? I mean,
I don't know,
on.
brother. I don't know.
What about Bichette? I think Bichette's a nice fit, but it looks like the Phillies are eyeing him.
We'll
see.
You never know. The Red Sox.
I tell you, the way they've talked up here, if the Jays don't get either Tucker or Bichette, it's a failure because they're thinking they're going to get one of these two guys. You know, they've had a good offseason. Just ask Drury.
I mean, if you're Tucker, you got to ask yourself, where do I want to hit? Do I want to hit in the city field where it's what is not a hitter friendly, or do I want to go to hitter friendly park like Toronto?
Yeah, sounds like it's between the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Jays. That's what they're saying.
New York is taxed just as bad as Toronto's tax, so the taxes are terrible. So either way, and you have a better lifestyle in Toronto than you do in New York. That's for sure.
Well, and the thing with Tucker too, you're right about the field, and then does it come down to something as petty, in my opinion, as the tax situation? Like Rodgers will make sure he gets plenty of endorsement money from 12 different organizations. Kyle Tucker, if he signs in Toronto, will be plastered all.
And can't you defer the money? Like, can't you defer that? So when he's retired,
they can ask the Dodgers.
He's living in Hawaii or wherever he doesn't.
Yeah, you can defer money 40 years. Right. You can actually pay the next 2 generations of a guy's family if you want.
I got to admit, it's been a pretty boring offseason for baseball. There's no juice. There's no big.
We excited up here, man. I don't know.
Well,
you were in the World Series. You're trying to get back to the World Series, but overall, just baseball nationwide.
I agree.
It is weird because of in hockey, July 1st, boom, 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 signings. The Jays jumped out early, made an early signing, but then it's been quiet. It's been absolutely pretty much nothing going on. But everyone seems to be waiting for the Tucker ball to fall.
I mean, is Tucker all that? I mean, really? I mean, what are we talking about? I'm trying to think of the hockey player that was up in Toronto and then I'm trying to think of his name.
How long?
There's a lot.
Late 90s, and Bill Waters, like, you're making this guy out to be Wayne Gretzky or something like that. Like, is Tucker really gonna be Don Mattingly or anything like that? I mean, or is it Wade Boggs or that nature?
Hopefully he won't be Mattingly because hopefully
I don't know
championship.
Don't disrespect Donnie Baseball.
I think how heartbreaking was lost, man. I felt for you guys.
Everybody wanted Donnie Baseball to get one for sure. And maybe he can in his new home. But look, Tucker's really good. I don't know if he's those guys, but he is as dynamic a superstar outfielder as you're gonna find. I mean, mashes for power, lefty, plus defender, runs the base as well. Doesn't get hurt very often. And I think that he's a guy that at the Dome, I would be expecting consistent 35 home run seasons out of that guy in his sleep, and mix a couple 40s in there too if he's healthy, which he usually is. He's a really, really good player, and he's the best player available, so he's going to get the cake.
But he's not like Juan Soto. I mean, he's not.
No, he's not Juan Soto. He won't get $750 million. He'll get,
I mean,
$400 million.
22 home runs this year, 266. I mean, really? That's the best you're going to sell me on? And he's going to be a savior to anybody?
He can put you over the top.
He can really put you over the top.
For $50 million, Chris?
That's the Mets offering him $50 million. The Jays are not offering him $50 million.
I bet you they are. I bet you they are because they want him. They want him bad, and Ed Rodgers would sign that check. Because when you combo him with a Vlad, he's not going to be the centerpiece, but when you combo him with a guy like Vlad, then you've got a real nice setup. Like, yeah, he's not Judge. He's not Soto. He's not Ohtani. He is a tier below that. And the defensive work that he can do is really incredible too.
Boy, Vladdy is a superstar, man. He just hits with under pressure. So impressed.
He showed that last year.
I mean,
The playoff run he had, Damerge, I still
and the defense too.
He's Gold Glove defender. It's unbelievable.
I didn't see that a couple of years ago. I mean, I thought this guy's going to eat himself out of football like baseball, like Cecil Fielder. I thought at one point.
Ryan and I have had those exact conversations many times.
People were scared. People were scared, and give this guy credit. He knuckled down and said, "I want to be a baseball player, and not only a baseball player, I want to be a great baseball player." And he has turned himself into an unbelievable first baseman where I expect automatic outs every time, picks the ball extremely well. He had the best pick rate among first basemen over the last 3 years, as a matter of fact. It's really incredible what he's been able to do. And then obviously in the regular season, you'd like to see the power return, but Damerge, like we talked about it all fall, even without the championship at the end of it, I think it might have been the greatest playoff run by a Toronto athlete maybe ever, outside of who? Kawhi Leonard? I don't know, Clarkey. You give me your thoughts on that.
Carter. I mean,
Carter. But did Carter mash like that?
You had Robbie Alomar on that team. I mean, you had some players. Alomar had that big home run off of Eckersley.
But did those two guys? I was an infant when that occurred. Did those two guys individually mash like Vladdy did throughout the entirety of the playoffs? He started and did not stop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the difference was that those teams won back-to-back.
They did, with an incredible lineup of players that this Jays team did not have. They were a workman-like team that played good defensively, and it ultimately came up short for them, and they got some unbelievable performances out of guys that you never would have considered. Back then, you expected that Jays team to win.
Yeah, like you look at the Ernie Clements of the world, like those guys
had a hit record.
You know, like George Springer, like a year ago, we were thinking, what are we going to do with this guy's contract? He's so overpaid. And he had an unbelievable season and an unbelievable postseason, playing hurt, hitting that home run in Game 7 against Seattle. I was there.
We know you were there.
Unbelievable. Damerge, see that? Did you see that clip of me?
No, I did not.
We'll send it.
We got to get that up. We got to play that again. How can we get that on here?
How excited is the city to start spring training? Are they excited about it? I mean, it's got to be pretty excited for the first time in over a decade now, right?
There's a lot of buzz heading into spring training, which there wasn't last year. Let's just be frank. And I mean, and Clarkey, you bring up a good point. Springer was at the center of that. Like, he showed up in spring training, and I think what he hit, like he hit under 100 in spring training, and people were like, "Oh, geez, what are we in for?" And then him and the team managed to put together something pretty magical. Yeah, the excitement up here is pretty intense, I would say. Do you have it there, Clarkey?
Let's show it. Here we go. Watch this. This is me.
We did it!
That's awesome.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Isn't that unbelievable?
That is great.
That was a moment I will never forget.
One of the best nights ever. Like, I almost went through my ceiling, like jumping off the couch. And then Clarkey sent me that. And I'm not going to lie to you, for like a week. I don't think I've ever told you this, Clarkey. For like a week after that, that was my alarm clock.
That's awesome.
You were my alarm clock going, "We did it, Drury." I woke up to that for like a week, and then they lost, and I was sad, and I had to turn it off. If they had won that World Series, that would probably still be my alarm clock. It was just, we missed a bit of magic at the end there.
It was
unbelievable.
One of the all-time videos that I've ever been sent.
If I was at Game 7, we probably would have won. Of the World Series.
Were you at the Fan in '93 when they won?
Yeah, of course.
What was it like producing back then? For
Unbelievable. We started an all sports radio station in September of '92.
Ah.
The Jays win a month later and then win next year. And the Leafs are on fire and should have won a cup that year. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then the
They
strike.
should have.
And then the strike.
And then the strike, man, the strike. Speaking of strikes, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer here. Are you worried about another potential strike action coming up with baseball with the upcoming labor dispute that's on the horizon here? And, you know, that dirty word that no one likes, salary cap, like it's still floating around. Are you worried that we might lose some baseball in the next couple of years here, Mike? I can't stomach it.
I think that would be a huge mistake. I know a couple of years ago there was issues during the strike, during the COVID year coming back. There was questions about, you know, how many games we're going to play and a player is going to accept this or that. I mean, people I don't think have the stomach for athletes that are so detached from reality that people have to decide whether they go to CVS or buy food. That if they go on strike, you know, that if they go on strike, people are going to lose interest, because I think people are tired of that. While they love their teams, there's a sense of, you know, things are serious in the world. You know, people can't pay for things. I think if there's any sense of a strike, that'd be a death blow to baseball, because people can't relate to these players anymore. It's just unrelated. I mean, $50 million we're talking for Tucker. I mean, think about that. John Harbaugh is going to get $20 million a year. It's just unrelatable here.
I completely agree, man. And I mean, like, I'm looking at the hats behind you. I've got a bunch of stuff behind me here. Like, I accumulated a bunch of this stuff as a kid. Like, hats are $50 now, like for an okay hat. It's $50. And like, you sit there as an average Joe and go, well, am I going to drop $50 on this hat, or am I going to buy some salads so I can eat for the week? Like, look, I agree with you, Mike. I don't think it's being melodramatic in the world we're living in to say something like that. Like, I completely agree. Like, I don't relate to these guys. Like, the hockey players maybe a little more, but like, even still,
I think there does need to be a hard salary cap and a hard basement too. But
the basement,
you know,
yeah,
it's the system currently is kind of working, because it's penalizing the Dodgers. It's, you know, going to penalize the Yankees if they go over. It's going to penalize the Mets, and it's going to the smaller market teams to keep them in business where they're making money. So the system is kind of working in many ways, and the Yankees can't do what they used to do because other teams now have the wherewithal to stay in contention longer, not sell off players, and it's hurting for the franchise like the Yankees or other teams that once would buy players. The Dodgers seem to have it figured out. It's like you put on a Dodger uniform. I mean, and I know we're in analytics and stuff, but Dodgers are exciting. They make baseball exciting. The Yankees outside of Judge are freaking boring.
I have a hard time disagreeing. Like, it's incredible what they've been able to achieve, and it is kind of old school. It feels like the Yankees of yesteryear, what they're doing, flexing their muscles on everybody. And good for them. I just, like, if they get Tucker, I'm gonna barf. Like, I can't do that. Like, and you mentioned how boring, you know, this offseason's been to a degree. You know, picked up a little bit recently, like the Cubs out of nowhere get Bregman. Okay, that's good player. Welcome to Chicago, I guess. But if Tucker goes to Dodgers, like, how boring is that? Like, that's not a fun narrative to merge. Like,
what if they get both him and Bo?
I won't watch.
It could happen.
I won't watch.
It could happen.
You know, what is their payroll? We're going to be $750 million. I mean, come on. When's it end?
Do you know how much money this team and the Jays made in the World Series alone per game? It's incredible how much money.
I thought baseball was dying.
Well, you got to win.
You're told.
You got to win here in Toronto. I'm telling you that much.
I would say that's true of about 26 markets.
Yeah.
Am I off base there, Demerge? Like that's probably true of about 26 teams.
I don't know about 20. I mean, in St. Louis, they'll always show up. The Cubs in Chicago, they'll always show up. There's certain cities that will,
Boston, yeah.
Anaheim, they'll show.
Oakland.
Oakland, they don't show it.
You dirty little.
Frisco and Frisco. Frisco, they kind of show up.
The Giants
markets like the Yankees in Boston, there's anger. There's anger when you lose. There's like, this is BS. You spend
consternation.
Why aren't we spending more money? That is the question. Why aren't we spending more money? We're New Yorkers. I'm paying $15 for coffee and bagel. I want to eat the sandwich, not choke on it as I'm going to work in the morning because the Yankees are losing 7-6 because they don't have a bullpen to close things down the way they used to when Rivera was the closer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Yeah, the $15 bacon, egg, and cheese and coffee. You can choke that down a little easier when the Yankees win 8-1 the night before, brother. I know the feeling. I understand where you're coming from.
You know what I'm interested with baseball? With NBC's got the Sunday night game.
Yeah.
That changes the dynamic. You remember back in the day when NBC Sports with Vince Scully and Joe Garagiola did the game of the week. Remember that, Clarkey?
Yeah. MLB game of the week.
That was more of a Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon, though, yes.
Yeah.
But, but now people, watch more are home on Sunday night, so they know the viewership's going to be higher. Obviously.
We need Mel Allen back. Bring him back out of the grave for This Week in Baseball.
Vince Scully and Joe Garagiola.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
So you talk about spending money and how Bichette would be a good fit there in New York, and he obviously would be a good fit anywhere he played simply because of his bat. I don't know, his defense, it's improved. It's never going to be elite, and that's fine because he can match.
Does anybody play defense anymore, really? Does anybody play second base like Robbie Alomar played second base?
Ketel Marte does.
Okay, out of all the teams in baseball, 3 players.
I can't name many like elite defensive second. Nico Horner. God, I hope the Cubs don't trade him. I heard the Yankees would be sniffing around. There'd be a guy that Nico Horner would get the needle moving in the Bronx, I'm sure. But let's talk about Bichette. If the Yankees, you're the general manager, Demerge, what do you feel like you could put in front of Bo Bichette on a piece of paper at the bagel shop and slide it across the table to him and say, how about this? What are you offering Bichette?
How old's Bichette now?
Believe he's 28.
I don't like 10-year contracts. I give him a 7-year deal.
Okay.
$400 million.
You're giving him 400.
Yeah. I think he's worth that.
I mean, his back. Look, the guy for the injury concerns that you do have at times with Bo.
That's why I'm not going 10.
The American League in hits for 4 years.
And that's why I'm not going 10. I mean, the years of the steroid.
27. He's 27.
Yeah, so you end it by 35. If you could end a player's contract by 35 or 36, you're golden. That's the way it used to be pre-steroids, Clarkey. You remember that. Guy turned 36, 37. They had 1 or 2 years left, and that was it. Not playing into their 40s. And when these guys, who was the guy? Marty Cordova that came over from the Twins. I remember seeing him in the Jays locker room, and he looked like Lou Ferrigno. I mean, the guy was jacked.
I misremember all that.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never did that. It's rare that like guys can kind of hold on. I mean, the David Justices of the world and the Big Hurts, like that's a rarity. And if you can get away from guys at 36, 37, it'd be ideal. Yeah, like I'm really interested to see what happens with Bichette though here, because like
it's getting late early, right?
It's getting late early, and you sit there and go like, yeah, he probably is worth that with the bat, but then why aren't people lining that up? And it probably is his health. And on that note, this has been talked about a lot this offseason. The guys on Talking Baseball talk about it all the time. I'm sure it gets talked about a lot in your market, Demerge. Do you feel like baseball needs to set a hard free agency deadline? Like, you got to sign guys by like the first week of January.
No,
like,
I'm not hearing much of that, to be honest.
No, that's stupid.
I'm not seeing the writers.
Why?
About.
What? Like why? Why?
Well,
like,
it would
tell me
make
why
things happen.
Things are going to happen when they happen. How many people have been talking baseball and talking Tucker and Bichette for the last 2 months. Baseball
Yeah, but
loves
nothing
that.
happens. Yeah, I guess they do.
I'm telling
They're
you,
stretching it out.
it's been Dullsville. I'm telling you, it has. And here in New York, there's nothing to report. There's nothing going on here.
You
Right?
got to get in on the action. That's
Frank
why.
Drebin, nothing to see here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, nothing to see here. It's been Dullsville, really. It's people are kind of just you know, the Yankees are the Yankee fans are kind of like, what are we going to do now to screw this up? Because they know that the Steinbrenner family is not going to spend the money, and they don't understand why. And you have this
That's
you know-
wild.
Okay,
this
but listen to me.
makeshift lineup.
Listen to me.
They don't have a third baseman. They have a shortstop that doesn't know what the hell he's doing. They got Jazz Chisholm looking at the lights in at second base. I don't know who's playing for who's on first, what's on second. I don't know. Third base.
Yeah. Listen to me.
Go ahead.
That's what we thought here. Shapiro and Atkins. Nobody had trust in these guys. Nobody. Rogers, the owners, they're going to screw things up. They can't run a baseball team. They had Anthopoulos. They let him go. They had Beeston. They fired him. Nobody thought this team was going to do anything, especially with Shapiro and Atkins. Well, look what happened. You never know. That's all I'm saying. You never know.
You know, I like what the Jays did, and it makes common sense that other teams should do. Let's get the children of former major leaguers and draft them. What a novel concept that is.
Yeah, let's get Dante Bichette.
Sometimes it works out.
Yeah.
I mean, there are the Kevin Biggios of the world. No disrespect to Kevin. I like the kid. I wished that things had worked out a little better for him. But hey, I mean, they've hit on quite a few, and that's great. But yeah, it's, you know what, guys? This year's going to be awful telling because everybody's jacked up. Totally different vibe heading into spring training this year, and they deserve that vibe. They earned the vibe. This year will be very telling because was that a one-off? Are these guys, some of these young guys that they were able to spray all over the field, Barger and Clement and Lucas, who, to be fair, is not very young himself, but these guys that they were able to plug through at the lineup, was that a one-off for all of them? Or can a few of them maintain not necessarily the career years that a lot of them had, but just maintain a level that gets the Jays back into the postseason? Because that's what I'm scared of.
Yeah. I mean, the A's did it in the early 70s, winning 3 in a row. Then the Reds in 75, 76, pretty much the same team. But the Yankees, they made the World Series in 76. By the way, they added Reggie Jackson, Mike Torres, and Bucky Dent in 77. 1978, they added Goose Gossage. 1981, they added Dave Winfield. So the Yankees always added the big sluggers in here. It's very difficult to just be complacent, and unless you have a really, really young team like the A's were, that came out with Reggie and Catfish and Vida, Sal Bando, Joe Rudy, Bill North, Bert Campaneris, Gene Tennis, and the likes like that. And the gosh, the Big Red Machine, Bench, Rose, Griffey on that team, Foster on that team. So many players. Joe Morgan, Dave Concepcion. I mean, you name it. It's hard. It's especially in this day and age. You really need to add on if you want to be competitive again.
100%.
Who's your best? Who's your favorite Yankee of all time, Damergis?
I mean, Reggie, because obviously the 3 home runs being a little kid. But the first one that really got was Catfish Hunter. You know, I remember him signing with the Yankees, and I tried to beat him with the hair sticking out the side. And a funny story: I had an uncle that was a police officer at Yankee Stadium, and he got me on the field with Catfish, and I was 10 years old, and he like lifted me up over the side. And I met Catfish, and he shook his hand, and I was like, "Oh, what, Catfish?"
Wow.
I mean, I love Catfish. 20-game winner, 5 years in a row, 224 career wins.
Legend.
Now, I know you didn't ask me, but do you know who my favorite Blue Jay was of all time? And it's not a guy who's like
Dave Steve.
No.
Yeah, I'm saying because
he's my worst. He's my least favorite. Cliff Johnson. Remember Cliff Johnson?
Oh, he beat up Rich Gossage, broke his thumb.
There you go. That's not the reason, but Cliff Johnson was just the guy who, like, he set the record when he was with the Jays for pinch hit home runs. I think he was with the Jays twice, wore 44 the first time and 00 the second time. I met him at Exhibition Stadium in the parking lot, big, huge dude. And he came out of the clubhouse, and he had a duffel bag, and it was full of beer. And he goes, "I got free beer here, fellas."
Who's your favorite Maple Leaf?
Oh, Wendell.
Wendell Clark.
Yeah, Wendell,
Okay.
for sure. There was nothing ever like Wendell. He was the best.
I don't know why I thought about this the other day. I was thinking about the time that was Dave Keon came into the studio, and he hadn't talked in years, and he talked to Gordy for like an hour.
Yeah,
And I was telling my class too the other day about Tiger Williams when we did a remote.
Oh yeah.
And Clark goes, well, go downstairs and bring Tiger upstairs. I go, well, what does Tiger Williams look like, Gordon? He goes, well, he looks like a tiger.
You'll
know him. You'll know him.
You'll see him.
Yeah.
And he was right again. He had those crazy eyes.
Oh yeah, man. And Wendell would get the crazy eyes too when the wires crossed. Wendell,
Wendell drop anybody.
He went after some big boy. Dave Brown, oh my God, the guys he would fight, and he was what's Wendell, 5'10", 5'9"?
I just saw him 2 weeks ago,
and he would just absolutely maul these big guys. Yeah, hey, that'll endear you to a fan base for sure. For the record, my favorite Blue Jay, Roy Halladay, the doc, man.
Can't go wrong with that.
Absolute legend. Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't have a favorite Maple Leaf. Maybe Darcy Tucker.
Good choice.
I loved Tux because he was just a little
rat.
When he submarine Mike Pekka that one year.
Oh,
your favorite Argo, Clarkey?
Conrad Holloway.
Okay.
Going back. Conrad Holloway. Yeah. Won the Grey Cup 1983.
Now, who was
Demerge? Who's your favorite Jet?
Joe Klecko. Number 73. Joe Klecko.
There you go.
Not Joe Namath.
I don't remember. I remember Joe when he was getting sacked as a Rams quarterback. And he was just on his back all the time. I
remember Joe coming on to the sideline reporters.
Yes, Susie Colbert. That's right.
Yeah,
Joe. I don't care about the game. I just want to kiss you.
Joe.
Broadway Joe.
Joe was struggling on that particular night.
Well, Klecko made the Hall of Fame, and then I love Mark Gastineau too as well.
Yeah,
and I always say Gastineau doesn't get the due he is. I don't know that he deserves. And I don't know if you saw the documentary, the 30 on 30 on the Sack Exchange. In 107 starts, he played in 137 games, but 107 starts. You know how many sacks Gastineau has? 107 and a half.
Wow. Oh yeah,
that's a sack every start, and you're not in the.
And he got screwed out of the record, right?
And he got screwed out of the record when Favre laid down and Strahan sacked him.
Oh, Brett.
He had the record at 22. I was thinking that Tom Brady's doing that new Pizza Hut commercial, then he gets sacked by the grandma.
Yeah.
I think they should have Favre ring the door, bring the pizza, and then Gastineau sack him.
That's a good idea.
Gastineau got his sack back.
Yeah,
it would be a great
probably
idea.
Would actually hit him though.
It would be a great idea if Brett wasn't in some serious personal trouble. I don't think he'll be in a commercial anytime soon, but it would be a good idea.
Yeah, did you see that documentary about with Jen Sturger on Favre? It was just kind of weird. It was kind of. It's more about Sturgeon in a lot of ways. It wasn't
stuff good. Not a good situation for Brett. Yeah. Well, all right, Emerge. I hope that the situation with your Yankees improves.
It's not. It's
well, okay. I'll say this then. I at least hope the bacon, egg, and cheeses are good for you.
I can't have bacon, egg, and cheese. I've got a heart condition.
What are we talking here? A little cream cheese?
No cream cheese. You're talking Cheerios and not the sweet one with fruit, skim milk.
Okay, now you're starting to depress me, Demerge. Okay. Well, I wish you good health then, and I hope that Garrett Cole wins the Cy Young for you. How's that?
I'm not going to hold my breath.
Okay, brother. Don't hold your breath. All right, Demerge. Thanks so much for doing this, brother.
Peace out.
See you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Take it easy. There's Demergis, Mike Damergis, Mad Dog.
I wanted to dive into the Rangers with them, but that's fine. We'll do that another time. I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You want to talk about that, cousin Chris?
No. Like they were down 6-0 to Ottawa on Wednesday night.
Man, yeah, the Ranger. We're gonna have to have our buddy Laz on right before we jumped on here. You of course host the Blue Crew podcast, Johnny Lazarus, the NHL Network, and Morning Cup of Hockey. Pardon me, all that great stuff.
Yeah, we'll get him.
He's not happy.
No,
we'll have Laz on.
What about the Leafs? Now you gave him a little shot saying that they weren't hot. How can you say they're not hot?
No, they picked up like a nice little run for them.
10 games in a row without a loss. They beat the Colorado Avalanche.
They did. Easily the most impressive win of this season and maybe over the last calendar year. Going into my high and doing that. And then I guess all the gas was gone because the other night it was right back to regular old Maple Leafs.
Well, don't say that. You can't say that. They're not regular old Maple
Why?
Leafs now because they're playing a lot better. They're ahead of your Washington Capitals. They're playing better. They're in a playoff spot. How can you say they're not playing better?
They are
5
playing
points
better.
behind Montreal.
They're playing better.
Montreal, the be all and end all. You know,
That's
what everyone's saying. How great Montreal is. They're 5 whole points or 7, whatever. Not too far.
When I think what people are talking about with Montreal is more so the outlook into the next like 3 to 5 years. That's my opinion. We got a guest in the studio.
We do, and he's got his.
I can't believe it. I can't believe this.
We wanted to chat a little bit about the game, Jury.
Wow.
And he's back there too, just on the wall.
Producer Adam.
But that's Team Canada, so.
Long-time producer
Adam.
I'm back.
of Instigating. He's back. Producer Adam. Wow.
Thank you.
How about that? How you doing, brother? I mean, tough one for you to swallow the other night. You got a point out of it, though, and
We did.
really care. Your team is so hot. Like,
They are good. They're really good.
Well, we
but
only
the
have
Leafs are
4
better.
losses on the entire season too, right? So.
yeah, you can't complain to Clarkey here. Like, you
No.
can't complain.
No. But we had a little talk before the game, and
Yeah,
we
we did.
exchanged some messages, and
Yeah.
it was a good hockey game. It was a great
was.
game.
I slept through the second period. That's okay though. It was a late game. Woke up, had to, at midnight, and was chatting with Clarkey for the overtime.
Yeah. And boy, it was an exciting overtime.
It was for you guys, and McKinnon blew a tire, but he almost let it in. It hit the crossbar or something.
Yeah.
They were talking about it on Altitude Sports today, and the Sportsnet was the only one that had the replay where you could see that McKinnon almost put it in, and then I forget who scored for the Leafs, but he blew the tire down score. Yeah, Nylander. Thank you. That's how
it was Cowan, wasn't it?
I forgot who scored for you.
No, Cowan scored the OT winner against Philly. Nylander scored the OT winner against Colorado, buddy.
Cowan got a goal.
I shouldn't know that.
It off of
Sorry, it's all these overtime wins are all melding together here for me.
Right. Well, we only have 4 losses on the season, and most of our losses are in overtime. So I feel your pain.
And that's fine. But what happened on the boards there with McKinnon? Like Nylander stripped him.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't catch him. Why couldn't McKinnon catch him?
I'm just going to say.
If that was Matthews, I would never hear the end of it.
Oh, for sure.
Getting stripped on the boards and then not catching the guy.
Let me just scroll back here, Clark, if I can. Where do we go? Hold on. Because you said that to me. Where was it?
Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good.
The only difference being though that like McKinnon
doing this, he'd be ranting on Matthews, and I'm pretty sure I said something effective. Don't worry, I'm doing that right now for Ryan in his place for McKinnon.
Yeah, but like here's the thing though, like you can't rant at Nate McKinnon because he does everything, and like these guys. You can
if he fails in certain circumstances. You can
I don't
be
think
critical
he's the guy
in certain spots. You can be critical of someone in certain spots.
Of course, you can be critical of someone.
Exactly.
Of course.
Exactly.
I don't know if
he's our Team Canada rep. We got him like, why are you blowing a tire? And now we're going to Milan. What the?
Exactly.
Are they going to Milan?
Yes, this time at least. We really hope. I don't know where you are on the show, but I really hope everything.
Okay,
goes
Drew,
well.
we don't want to hear it. It's fine.
Nobody gets injured, and Bettman continues to allow Olympic players from the NHL to participate. That's another thing that Gentili was talking about today. I happened to be listening to him on the way home from work.
There you go.
I was like, "Ooh, you got a good point there, Mike." And he was great on your guys' show a little while back. I was like.
Last week,
we had him on last week, and that's a big talking point. And I believe on last week's show, I brought up that quote I heard from Elliot Friedman on his show, 32 Thoughts, where he said, the owners and Gary Bettman will get even with the IIHF over this. What that means, I don't know. I think I know what it means. And what I think it means is next time
they're cut out.
They won't be going unless the IIHF covers the health insurance.
Oh, yeah. Well, did you hear what
and they have no
Milan
say in
today?
anything.
They were
Sorry.
doing a test game in Milan today, and they had a pothole on the ice, and they had to stop the game and fix it. But
Yeah.
That
Oh yeah.
happened last week too. They had to bring the
And
watering
some-
can out in the ice.
I don't know who I was talking to. Somebody. The ice surface isn't even the right ice size, right? Am I right? In
Oh,
saying
no,
that?
it's not the right
even
size.
international?
Yeah, it's three.
So is
3
it
feet short.
about the size of the Hanover Barons rink? Like, what's the size? I haven't been following this. You guys fill me in. You're
Hanover Barons
right in
might be
this.
official size. I don't know.
I think it might be no. So it's 3 feet shorter,
Short.
3.67 feet shorter, or something like that, than an NHL rink, and I think it's slightly narrower too.
No,
Yes, I
It's
heard
a
that
mess.
too.
Like,
no, I don't think it's
It's a
narrower.
mess. Yeah. So
it's not narrower. I thought
I
it
don't
was.
think so. I thought it was actually a
The
tad
neutral
wider.
zone looks unbelievably
Yeah.
goofy. Like
It was
So
the
me being
same.
an
It's the
Avalanche
same
fan,
size as.
I listen a lot to Altitude Radio now because we're in the modern era. I could just get them on streaming. They're great, but they were talking about how it's going to be much less of a finesse game, possibly, and more of a hitting and bruising Olympics because the ice is
We'll see.
shorter and smaller.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Thank
it'll be
God Tom
interesting.
Wilson's going to be there.
That's right.
Thank
Right
God.
for Team Canada, your boy Tommy. It'll be good.
Yep. Yeah.
I actually
So is I haven't even heard this, but is my Taves, Devin, is he back? Is he going? I know he's injured right now. I'm semi in and out of the loop every once in a while.
they haven't announced a replacement for him. They're optimistic he's going to play.
That's good.
That was the last thing I heard. I don't know that the situation is going to be the same for Bo Horvat, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
they haven't announced any contingency yet. So we'll see, but it'll definitely be interesting. And I mean, your Avs are going to be well represented there, obviously. The two
Cervantes going for his country too from the Avs. So I think we have 4 or 5 Olympic players from my team.
I think you got
The 3 Canadians and then a few others that are going to Sweden.
There's definitely some teams that are loaded up. Like Vegas has
yeah.
a whole slew of teams.
They do.
Players too.
Yeah, they sure do, Clarkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
But
and yeah,
that's okay.
Natchez will be going as well.
Yep, Matrix is
obviously.
going too. He's been hot for us on the Avalanche. Like, that's our problem with our
freak.
team is they. They were
That's
saying
the
like,
problem.
you know what? We're glad the Leafs terminated our point streak because now they will stop asking questions about it and we could just move on. So we're looking at a positive, Clarkey.
That's
What
fine.
a luxury.
I'm looking at a positive too. You must admit the Leafs are playing a lot better lately, right, Adam?
I would admit that I don't know where you've been on the show, but I will certainly after watching that game, they are playing better.
That was a great hockey game.
It was
They
a
are
really
playing
good
better. It
hockey
was a
game.
good hockey game.
It was
It
a very
was.
good hockey game.
Fun to watch.
And but you know what, Clarkey? Before we still hold a point streak at home. You might
Yeah, I
have
know.
broken our home win streak, but we still are on a point streak from the very start of the season for home.
Oh, I
That
know you haven't lost.
17-game winning streak
No, I get
started in October.
I get it.
In October.
And all the teams that win the President's Trophy obviously go on to win the Stanley Cup. So it's
they
going to
never
be a lot.
But
They
the year
don't-
that the Avs won the Stanley Cup, they had they were in the dumps, like your Leafs kind of. At that time, they were thinking they were never going to make the Stanley Cup. They came back from Christmas and they didn't lose a game between January and March. Literally every single game they played that season from January to March, they won. Whether it was home, on the road, overtime. They didn't get an overtime loss. They didn't get a loss for those 2 months. That propelled them from basement to top right away, and then they
There you
just
go.
never looked back.
There you
So
go.
who knows? This could
And
be
we have a
really
rematch coming up, I think, in a couple
We do.
weeks.
Yeah,
So
at
you
the
go.
end of the month. We're
There
over
you
in
go.
Toronto then.
We'll get you back on.
Maybe we'll
Well-
win in your home ice instead.
Maybe. Leafs are pretty good at home too.
Yeah, they are.
They're better at home, that's for sure.
What's going on with the game tonight? You guys must have discussed that with Marner coming
We
back.
haven't even talked about it. Doesn't
We haven't
matter.
talked about it because
he's
I'm
I don't care. I don't care.
he's got to come back to Toronto first, then the noise will kick in.
That's
but
next.
we'll
Friday.
see. That
I
next
thought
Friday.
Did I hear that wrong? I thought the game was tonight. It's not tonight.
It's
No,
in
they-
Vegas.
In Vegas tonight.
Oh,
Next
okay,
Friday
okay.
in Toronto. There you go.
'Cause I was
Anyway,
like,
we got a
well,
wrap,
I heard-
Ryan. We're getting the wrap from our producer.
We got to wrap. We got to do it.
Well,
Producer
it's
Adam
good to
is
be back on and
see
see
you,
you
brother.
guys. Yeah,
Dude,
good to see you guys too.
It's great to see
Let's
you.
do
Good
this
luck
again.
to your
It's been too long
abs.
already. Thank you.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, we appreciate you jumping on. We appreciate our buddy Mike Damergis. We appreciate all of you for continuing to listen, download, watch, stream on all your favorite podcast apps, YouTube, and of course with our friends at Rogers TV. That's Clarkey. I'm Drury. We'll be back next week with more instigating.